Good morning. It's your boy Ron Big Black Garrett. I've taken a little time off. I'm just trying to step back away from social media, but it has its purposes, and today is one of those purposes. So um, I just want to talk today about pornography and its addictive properties. Most people get into it like I did. I got into it at a young age, and introduced by an older person to it, and thought it was innocuous, didn't have too much to do with anything. It was just a thing. But men respond to pornography. I've had this conversation with my wife. Men respond to pornography a little bit different than women. If you ever look at the brain of a man when pornography is introduced to them, it lights up. It's something about how we're created, how God created our minds. It's probably to do the tasks that men need to do every day. The cognitive thinking that we have to do and the way we do it, which is why we're different than women. Women, for the most part, when they see pornography, their brain doesn't light up, which is why very few women actually get addicted to it. They could either come and go with it, whereas men, if we continually view pornography, we will start obsessing over it and obsessing over it. And I can assure you that if most men are honest, they will tell you that this is what the thought process is. But what pornography does, it feels a need, just like any other addiction. It feels a need for us to seek something other than ourselves to make us, to fulfill that lack of joy. That's what it is in a nutshell. The addiction comes from trying to seek after something that needs to be there. And that is always, first and foremost, Jesus. People say, well, Ron, you're making it too simple. No, it's just that simple. Anything that we take on in our lives that has a hold on us is having a hold on us for a reason. It's because in our hearts we're missing something. And you can say with drugs it's physical. Yes, it is. But what was the root cause of that? The root cause is something. Well, you have some people that say, well, this happened, that happened, which led me to drugs. That's true. But this or that happened, and it couldn't be dealt with properly because of a lack of Jesus. It doesn't mean that that person's bad or this or that, just in that situation. And the reason that I say that is because from the beginning of our inheritance or the beginning of our time, it is the very fact that we rebelled against God, which causes all of the hurt and the pain and the torment and the things that we become, that we try to use other stimuli to get out of the pain. And for me, pornography was a born in rebellion. It was born in rejection. It was born in hurt, pain, to escape the normal trappings of everyday life in the hood. For other people, it's because of molestation, abuse. It's always, every addiction is a means to escape something. That's what it is. And very few people that I know, normally if I talk to someone who's addicted to anything, sooner or later, be it food or anything else, sooner or later, rejection is going to be the root cause for the most part. Rejection, and people say, well, what about abuse and all this? Yeah, but a lot of times the rejection part comes in when they are rejected, when they're telling about their abuse. And that happens every time. That's the most painful part. If you speak to anyone who's been abused, the most painful part is the rejection that comes afterwards. When people say they don't believe them, that's rejection. That's not the end all, but that's a big part of it. And I've been in counseling and through in my military career, I've been in counseling since I became an elder. I've I've noted that in a majority of the times, the rejection is the root cause that has it's the normal driver to addiction. So, having said that, how do we deal with it? I'm only going to speak for myself because that's what I do. I speak to pornography a little bit different than other people, but I will say this is what I have to do to combat it. First of all, my faith. I pray. But that's not the end all because when you go to any surveys have been taken, and one of the biggest purveyors of pornography in hotels are doing when Christian conferences come to town. That's the truth. So if it was all about faith, then that should never happen. But if you go and you take a survey of hotels, when a Christian conference comes into town, the pornography payments go way up. And that's sad, but it's true because pornography is such a hidden addiction. So how do I deal with it? In a situation like that, if I go to a hotel room, I ensure that those channels are blocked. I make sure that I try, if I can, get the hotel to put a parental block on them. I try to make sure that if I have my computer or something like that, that my wife has the history of my computer. She can go and look at anything. I don't have a computer now because I don't need one. But back in the day when I had a computer, I made sure that my wife had the password. And if the history was deleted at all, she would know that I was up to something. I don't have any privacy anymore. I don't allow myself to have any privacy. And I know a lot of you guys are looking at this saying, whoa, whoa, hey man, look, either your wife is important to you or she ain't. Either you trust and love God or you don't. There's no perception of privacy if you have a pornography addiction. You must do what you need to do to break that thing. And when you know someone is holding you accountable, especially the one that you love, then you're truly showing them, because pornography hurts them. You're cheating on them with the image of some other woman. So I have no qualms about it, and I get brothers to tell me all the time, man. Well, she might know. What are you trying to hide? You know, and I know that's not too manly for some people. But what is your end goal? Are you wanting to serve Christ? Are you wanting to be faithful to your wife? So I don't have, my wife will tell you when we first met, I would give her my phone. And if she wanted to look at my phone to use something like this, and she'd be like, well, no, I don't want to know your password. I knew I was going to marry this woman. So I would just give her my phone. And I know it threw her off a little bit because she thought, I don't know what she was thinking, but I can just tell you that it didn't matter to me. I knew that I would marry her, so eventually she was going to have all that stuff. And then I finally told her why. I told her because I suffer from a pornography addiction. See, the key to pornography not having strength and hold on you is to be honest and straight up about it. First with God, and then with your spouse, period. And so if you have a fear of because you have some other things that are hidden, and so if you have a fear of giving up your passwords and all this other stuff, then you've got other things to deal with. Now, if you have a malicious wife who's causing you trouble, that may not be wise. I'm going to tell you that now. But we're talking about godly women here. We're not talking about some ratchet heifer that's trying to hurt you. We're talking about a godly woman, and only you know if you have a godly woman that you can trust. Sit down and talk to her. I know that mine is a godly woman, so I can do these things. So that's my tip for today. I know this has been a short, and I'm trying to keep these things 10 minutes or less. So it's been short, but if you have suffered from a pornography addiction, hit me up, talk to me about it, and I'm going to tell you that I'm praying for you and I love you. God bless you all. I'll be doing these things a little bit more. Peace.